Hi there. I'm Harley, your Chief Love Officer at Salty,
And I'm LaDondra, your Chief Hope Officer.
and we're your hosts for Salty Talk. Salty is a mission focused tea shop that focuses on transforming lives by offering second chance opportunities through training, mentorship, and great tea. Our mission is to steep our community in love, hope, and opportunity, and to transform lives one tea shop at a time. I'm going to turn it over to LaDondra to introduce our topic for the day.
You guys, we are so excited about today's topic. We are talking about behind the mask. That's why you see us with our different masks on. You know, it's so difficult talking with the mask because look, mine want to go off in my actual mouth. So if you see me doing like this, I'm trying to stay behind the mask. But you guys, we are so excited. We moved from July talking about the freedom to be. And then now we are talking behind the mask, and we want to really lean into the topic of being authentic. And so there is a wonderful article. I will reference that. We'll reference the article off in the chat if you want to check out more. But it tells us that many of us live behind our public mask, the one we feel we need to show others in order to be judged as a good parent, a good friend, a good employee, a good leader, whatever you're striving to be. But what we don't calculate is the cost to maintain that public mask and the energy drain of keeping it intact. Right now, it is an energy drain for me to keep this intact right now because I have to keep pulling and tugging to make sure I'm fitting in and I'm looking good. And, you know, I think that that is so equivalent to how life really is sometimes when we are hiding behind the mask. And as we're getting into the heart of it, we just want to talk about what our personal experiences and what that looks like and what we've had to overcome and what we're still striving to overcome. Because, you know, I think that you just really never just kind of really arrive in this, because as you evolve into a new awareness of yourself, then there's another level, and it's like, am I really being me, or am I behind the mask? So let's get into the heart of it and talk about it. But remember, this is always a dialogue and not a monologue. We want to get into the heart of it with you. So let's do this doggone thing. So, Harley, when you think about being behind the mask, when there's a good question here. It says reluctant to share your feelings. Is there ever a moment that you've had where you're reluctant to share your feelings? Like you're having to put on that brave front, like, you know, you got this, and really you want to speak up and say something.
I think that, yes, I do have those moments sometimes. I think even yesterday when I was really struggling and you sent me a text and said, are you okay? And I was like, no. I mean, and my normal, used to, before I really worked on the authenticity would have been like, yeah, great, everything's great, and just feeling like, I've always got to kind of maintain that positive, upbeat, looking good, got it all together, stuff. But I've also had, some situations, with friends and stuff like that, where, maybe they're sharing their feelings with me that, are hard for me to hear. That happened to me this last week is why I'm using that as an example.
Yeah.
And, I really did. I think, feel like at first putting on that kind of front that it was okay, but it really wasn't okay. And, I was hurt by some of that, and stuff. So we couldn't have really gotten to getting it resolved and getting to a place where, we were okay moving forward and resolving it. Had I just put on the front, I would have ended up with all those resentful feelings and the hurt feelings and been walking around with all that. Kind of like with this mask, when you were talking about that, I was like, that is so true, because I usually wear my glasses and put on the mask, my glasses fog up, and it's, I can feel my breath coming out all everywhere, and it's hot and steamy and all that. When you put on that mask and you're wearing that, you don't see as clearly. You don't see the situation as clearly and anything else because you're more focused on keeping up the appearance than you are on the reality of the situation.
Yes, that's so good. And it's draining to do that. You know, for me, I think that that has showed up in my life in ways that I would, because I think I speak my mind, but then not necessarily if I feel like it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. And then, so what I used to do is just like, I wouldn't say anything. And so I'm hoarding all of these feelings and emotions that doesn't belong to me. Whereas if I would have spoke up and said something, then, you know, that would have been a more healthier situation. And so me kind of having that, I would say, acting as if it's all good, that was the mask, when really that hurt my feelings, or really like I needed to, you know, I was angry about it, but I may not have known how to express my anger, or felt like that, you know, they were going to judge me for getting mad and all of the things. But hey, that was how I felt. And as with anything, there's a way to communicate, of course, but I wouldn't say anything. And then I'd go home and I'd just be feeling like, I would feel like I had just got walked over and it did not feel good, or I felt like I wasn't heard. And so I was behind the mask, and the mask is uncomfortable, like it is right now. I'm hot. I'm hot. And so we just wanted to kind of introduce this topic and talk about it. I think so. We're gonna, as we get into the heart of things, I think it's time for us to take off our mask so we can.
I did too. Behind the mask.
Yes. Woo! As we come behind this mask, let me right
so
down.
much better, right?
Woo!
How am I looking?
Yes. Your face doesn't even look shiny. You did it. You wore your mask very well.
Well, thank you. Mine is due to the fact that I really didn't put makeup on this morning, and you all can't really probably tell it. Maybe, hopefully, it looks the same as it does over here because I'm using my computer, and for some reason with the lighting and stuff, it just kind of smooths things out into a little bit, you know, darker with that blue light. So, you know, it makes me look like I got some smooth skin going on.
Yes, it does. It's looking good, girl.
I had a thought about something. We were talking about the behind the mask situation there. You know, and when you were talking about, you know, your feelings in that situation, you know, one of the things that I did when I was having one of these conversations that I had this past week with a friend, you know, my initial thought was, you know, to respond immediately, right? But I really kind of checked in with myself, and then I was like, I need to process this, you know? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you know, that was kind of me checking off my mask there too, and just saying, I have a lot of thoughts in my head right now. And I don't want to make excuses or anything else. I want to make sure that you feel heard, and I need to take a few minutes and I need to process this before I respond. You know,
that's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's still, I think, taking off the mask and being authentic and just saying, you know what, I'm not trusting what's going on right now. And I need to a moment. The pause is okay.
And I think that's something that is not easy to do sometimes, you know, when you just being real like that. And that's part of being vulnerable, that authentic place. So as you did it, how did you feel in that moment?
I felt the relief, for one. Good. That because my initial feelings, I was feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And, you know, the things that I was thinking, I would have been responding from that place. And me saying I needed to take the time to process and think about it, then even gave her more opportunity to talk more about her feelings. Yeah. And I think that de-escalated where she was at as well. So it actually ended up, I think, helping on both sides of the situation. So.
That's good. That's good. So let's do this from a well-rounded perspective. So that was like a personal example, like, you know, in your life. And I shared a personal one. I couldn't, you know, because it's too many examples that where when I was in that situation where I used to do that. Now I'm kind of there where I'm like, I think I'm going to speak up and say something. But another place where I know that there's a big mask that's being worn and is in our professional lives. And so you know what, I'll start. I know for me that in my professional life and trying to, I don't know. It's because look, I'm trying to think. There's so many examples. So, okay, for example, I have two examples. One, and I'm gonna make them short. The first one was when I was working like in the corporate realm of things and in banking, and I was afraid to cut my hair, and I've shared this story, but like y'all, it was a real deal for me. Like I really wanted to cut my hair and kind of have like the side kind of shave, but it wouldn't look like bad. It was going to look really good and professional. Anything that I do, I try to keep it professional. But in my mind, I was like, I had all these judgments that was going to play out, and they could have been true judgments. Like it could have been true and maybe it's not, but I never allowed myself the freedom to just be and to take off that mask because I was afraid of the implications that it would have on my career and what other people's opinions would be and just all of this stuff. And as soon as I did make the transition into entrepreneurship, I cut my hair. I was like, you know what, they're gonna have to accept me either way I am, rather. And then it was even more scarier because then I decided to pierce my nose, and I'm talking to Christian women entrepreneurs, and so I'm like, oh, what if they get real religious on me and be like, oh, girl, you're not supposed to do. Some people can be real religious about things. And so I was like, okay. So I got my nose pierced, got my hair cut over here on the side, and I had purple in my head at some point, just like right here. It wasn't like a dramatic purple, but it was purple there. And when I did it all, no one said anything. That was my stuff. That was the stuff that I put on myself. That was the mask that I put on myself. And when I took that mask off, I felt so much freer. I talked different. I walked different. I was different because the real me was showing up, not the let me put on my suit and tie and act like everything is good and I fit in. You know what? I don't fit in. God didn't call me to fit in. I was called to stand out. And I think that that's what we forget when we put this mask on and conform to everybody else. We lose that vigor. So how has that shown up for you in your professional life?
Probably the first example that comes to mind, I'm sure there's probably been lots of times that I've worn masks for sure. But the thing that comes up for me is, being, a leader, leading a team and being a professional engineer. I think for the longest time, I think that meant that I had to know everything, especially when it, engineering things. And I think, I would be like, yep, that's it. That's in my wheelhouse. Yep. I can do it. And I would spend hours, figuring it out and and researching. And I think I can figure out just about anything, but, it was a lot of time spent instead of, me saying, that's not in my wheelhouse, but here's a person that, I would recommend that you talk to. And then also, just going, even if it's to my people or, mentors or whomever, and just saying, asking for help, because I hate to ask for help. I would just try to do it all on my own. And that was my mask, was I know it all. I don't think I came across as a know-it-all, but I felt like that was who I had to be, to just have the position that I had. And it's just not the case, nobody knows everything about everything. So now it's really, easy for me, even with clients when they're asking for different things, to be able to say, I don't know that off the top of my head. Hey, I can reach out to the soil engineer or whatever.
Yeah.
Just, I got this. I don't do that anymore.
No, that is so good, because I feel like our culture has taught us to do that type of thing. It's just not you. But I think that your position made it even worse. Like, because you were in that high level position, and it's like, if I don't know, then that's going to give me a bad reputation. But, just in any of the professional industries, a lot of times they're like, fake it till you make it. Like, you hear things like that, and you really do try to fake it until you make it. You're like, well, I do know that I can find the answer. Like, come on, guys. Like, like you said, none of us know everything. That would be overwhelming to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we do a disservice to ourselves and the people that we're serving, trying to act like we know everything. And, it's, and I think also that it's a sign of weakness that if you don't know the answer. That's what we feel like. Right. If I don't know, then I'm weaker than, the next person, or, inadequate. And, all these things come up, and it's like, that is so not true. It's actually braver to be able to reach out and ask for that help, and to solicit that community of support, or whatever it is for you. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. When you said it's a sign of weakness, I took it a little bit different than you explained, but initially, but you were right there. But it is a sign of weakness. It was my weakness to say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. Because I didn't want to appear like I didn't know something that I felt like I should know. Like I said a while ago, there's no way I'm going to know everything about everything. There's just some things I haven't done, Yeah. I found that when I, with clients, especially like if it's new potential clients that are coming to me with different jobs and things, and when I've said, that's not really in my wheelhouse, but here is somebody that I think could help you with that. Mm-hmm. So appreciative, and they're like, thank you for just being upfront with me on that, and always time, or thank you for this. And then usually when they do have something else that they, that comes up for them, they'll come back to me still, and ask for it. And I think they just appreciate that honesty and upfrontness and stuff like that. So it's actually been so relieving to be in that position. It's like, just like, I don't have to carry all that around trying to figure it all out all the time,
Yes, that's so good. That's so good. I wanna jump in one more topic, like one more thing on this. But first of all, our Soul Tea fans, remember, we want to hear from you. So what has been your experience from the professional side, from the personal side, from even the communication side of just taking off the mask and communicating from a standpoint of being real with yourself and being real with the people around you, and just communicating your stance? What has been your perspective? What has been your experience? Put it in the comments. We want to hear from you. Okay, the last one is taking off the mask from a physical standpoint. How has that been for you? And I'm gonna let you go first on this time. So when we say a physical standpoint, just whatever comes up for you first. It could be your body, it could be the way you dress, or whatever shows up for you. What is that?
Man, so for years, I wore a ball cap all the time, and I wore it all the time.
I missed that part of your life.
Yeah, and I had longer hair, and I used to always have it in a ponytail through the back of my hat. And I wore a hat to work. I wore a hat to church. I mean, only time I didn't have a hat on, like if I went to a wedding, or something, I would do it. But I was really, really, really uncomfortable about my hair, and I had a lot of just insecurities. And then I realized, and it was actually just 2 years ago, it was in early 2018, that I cut my hair first time when I cut it shorter, and realized that I was hiding behind that hat. It was kind of like my security blanket, you know. Then, you
May
know,
I ask what you were hiding?
huh?
What were you hiding? Why, like, what did you feel the hat was protecting you from?
Well, I think it was, I think I was just really insecure about me, my appearance and everything else. You know, I mean, I've had to do a lot of thinking about things. And I know, you know, I've had a lot of discussions just about, you know, my being biracial and multiracial, I guess, and things and whatever. And I think that I've just really struggled with that without really even realizing that it was a struggle, you know, just kind of feeling like I never fit in and things like that. And then also just growing up and just being hurt different times in my life. I think that, you know, I felt like if I could hide a little bit, then I couldn't get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that, you know, it's a combination of things, but you know, when I cut my hair and stopped wearing the hat all the time, you know, I mean, it was really awkward at first for me, a little uncomfortable, you know, but then, you know, it really just became really freeing because, you know, it's difficult to try to find a hat to wear with every outfit.
Yes.
And then, you know, you got to deal with the shoes too. And that. So, it has just been really freeing for me, you know, to take that mask off.
Yes. So masks come in different forms. I love that.
Right. Yeah. I think too, on business side of things, like, you know, I mean, I just went through Leadership Fort Worth, and in the beginning of that, you know, going in there and the way, you know, everybody's dressed is real professional and they're wearing, you know, dress pants and shirts. And I just don't dress like that, you know? And I, you know, I'm boots and jeans or, you know, jeans and a blazer. That's my dress up, you know, and I do have, you know, occasions. I have dress clothes that I dress for meetings and presentations and such. But, you know, I really struggled with that at first, just trying to fit in, you know, and then I, you know, after the first couple of times, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to be me, you know. I just dressed like I dress and went, and nobody said anything or looked at me or even probably noticed that I was wearing jeans, you know.
Nope.
Nobody
Nope. It's our own stuff that we be putting on ourselves, and it's sad that we don't even, like, half the time we don't even realize how much stuff we're actually putting on ourselves is not other people, it's us.
Right.
We're gonna get ready to wrap up. I'll just say that mine was like yours. Like, I, you know, going into these professional rooms and feeling like most of the time I was the youngest. I was, you know, the only African American walking in the room. And so I felt like I had to put on this persona of almost, to say, a white lady, like how a white lady would dress and do, because, you know, I needed to fit in and be accepted. And then just one day I shook my hair and all. And I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. Like, because I grew up with a level of freedom in our household where we could dress how we wanted to dress and be how we want. And I needed that. I needed that person to come back out. And so I did. And I to this day, I dress how I want to. But, and it's jeans. Like, I love jeans a lot of times, and a blazer and some cute heels. If I choose not to do that, then I'm just not going to do that. Like, if I want to put on a skirt. So there's no mask. How about that? No mask, no more. I will get on stage with some cute ripped jeans and a blazer, and feel very confident in that. And it does not deter the people that I'm called to serve at all. That was stuff that I was projecting on myself.
Right.
So I'm gonna let you get ready to carry us out of this beautiful segment.
Yeah. So just speaking of those things, this article that we're going to post for you in there, it does have some ways that you can work on removing your mask. And it's got 5 different tactics here. And I just like the very first one was get real about defining your authentic self. And, you know, that is something that I think too, that when we put on those masks and we're pretending or hiding or whatever, I think sometimes we start to forget who we are. Yes. And we want and what we need, and you know, what are the things that do bring joy to our lives, because we're too busy trying to be what everybody else wants us to be. Yes. So that was just a challenge that I want to throw out there to think about, is, you know, what is it that, you know, people don't know about you, and that, you know, lights up your day and your life, and what are the things that you enjoy, and who are you that other people don't know, and focus on that and be that person, because, you know, you're awesome, I'm sure. I know you are.
I'm smiling because I know we're supposed to end, but what is one thing that people don't know about you? I want to know.
I'm pretty authentic these days, so let's see.
Yeah, you have been.
What is something people don't know? Did I used to play the saxophone? No. Don't know that.
Something that's no, I didn't know that.
I'm trying to think. What is something people don't know about me?
You bebop?
Oh yeah, I do. I do beatbox. You want to hear?
No. No.
I do like to beatbox. What about you? What's your one thing?
Oh gosh, y'all, I enjoy listening to music like Rocky Balboa. I be in here like rocking out. Like it's the best concert ever. And people be like, really, LaDondra? I'm really, really goofy, and I enjoy being goofy. And so, like, if you see me most of the time, you think, oh, you know, all this business stuff. Y'all, I like to have fun, and I love Rocky Balboa and Celine Dion. I'm like so opposite of what people think. And it's not that there's a mask there, you just don't get to see that side of the introverted person coming out, right. Or that, you know, when I'm to myself. So those are things. So when people see that, they're like, really? And I'm like, yes, like it lights up my world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just one thing, we do have a new tea blend that is the cinnamon rose petal green tea. We can actually, though, I can do it with the oolong tea or the black tea leaves as well. And I'm really super excited about it because it has so many amazing health benefits to it, both the cinnamon and the rose petals. And I've been, you know, playing with this blend quite a bit lately, and it's just awesome. So y'all should try that. So if you want to try that, reach out to me. Maybe I'll try to throw it on the Facebook for y'all so y'all can purchase it there.
So reach out through the DMs, because this one is not online, right? On
right.
Facebook Messenger.
Right, on Facebook Messenger, we'll do that. I'll go ahead and I will post it though in a separate post, so that people can see that, because it's pretty too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And if you are interested, we have It Is Well With My Soul shirt on today. So
love somebody today.
Yes. So if you're looking for some way to incorporate some positive inspiration that you get to wear, then we have other options. So just send us a message and we can show you our shirts and things, because not all of them are posted online, are they?
They're not all posted online. They are available in the shop at the Painted Tree. We've got Joy, Hope Never Disappoints, Hope is my jam, Love Somebody Today. We've got our regular soul t-shirts. We've got quite a few different mugs and a ton of different tea steepers, just fun tea steepers, all kinds of things. We'll try to get some of those online. I don't think people are using the website as much as they do communicate with me through Facebook though. So I'll post some pictures on Facebook of some of those things. And, but our website is drinksoultea.com. If y'all want to reach out to us there, there's a contact form there. If you want more information about Soul Tea. We do have our nonprofit formed.
Yep, got all of our articles of incorporation, bylaws, and everything yesterday. So I need to send those over to you. Something that's exciting, real excited to get that going. So we'll be talking more about that soon and next steps there. So super excited. But I don't have anything else. We definitely want to hear from you though. Reach out, tell us about taking off your mask and or things that you're struggling with. Reach out to us and we'll get back to you for sure. And that's all I got. We love you guys. So love somebody today.
Bye.